I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Come here for a minute. I want to talk to you. Mama says you're brain dead, bang your head against the wall. Can't find peace of mind, brain needs an overhaul. Bonehead, brain dead, we're all the same. You can't think straight when your heart is in pain. Turn around, hit the ground, time to lay a burden down.
The views expressed on this broadcast of the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show are those of the co-host and guest and do not necessarily reflect those of our affiliates. The topics and opinions on today's show should not be considered as medical, psychological, or professional advice. Take 12 Radio is not affiliated with any particular 12-step fellowship. And now, here's your host,
The man, the myth, the legend.
the Monty Man.
I'm telling you the truth, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. Good guys, bad boys, we're all the same. Saved by grace is the name of the game. Turn around, hit the ground, time to lay a burden down.
Welcome aboard to the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show. This is the Great Reality with Denver.
Attentively present.
Attentively present. Tony.
Not so attentive.
Not so attentively. And Marv.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, Marv's here. Yeah, that's
You're the only
right.
attentive one.
Did you notice I was very quiet during the intro this week?
Uh-huh.
I noticed it.
I was meditating. You were happy. You were like...
No, I just noticed it.
You noticed it. Yes. Yes, I was meditating.
In 2 minutes? There's
yeah,
2-minute meditations?
Sure.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I need
30-second
that.
meditations. Did you have your 30-second meditation this morning, Denver?
Power meditation.
Hour meditation. Why is my... Okay. Dee-dee. Well, welcome aboard, everybody. This week's topic is attentiveness, paying attention to your recovery. Paying attention. Wake up! Pay attention. And so we're going to be talking about that. Have you guys noticed an increase in rudeness on the highways and byways of our streets?
I drive the back roads.
Yeah,
awful.
well, so do I pretty much on the way to work and stuff.
Right.
But like in town,
Oh, it's getting worse, too.
it's bizarre.
It is.
It's like they don't even care if you hit them.
Yeah, I have
People
noticed
just
it.
cutting you off. And how is it riding a horse through town, Mark?
Back roads.
Back.
What was that? McLeod? Was that the name of the TV show years ago? Dennis Weaver, I think. Yeah, he played a sheriff, and he rode a horse in New York or something.
Oh,
They have
yeah.
horses in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of it.
I think it was McLeod.
I must have been
Don't
outside
ask me.
playing.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, listen, coming up on Wednesday, see how I just went to the other direction.
Perfect.
Coming up this Wednesday at River Park in Lebanon is Recovery in the Park B, I guess, or 2, from 6 o'clock to 9 p.m. It's located on East Grant Street in Lebanon, Oregon. Bring some food, bring yourself, bring some fun, bring some recovery in the park in Lebanon, Oregon. If you don't know where Lebanon is, you join millions and millions of Americans who don't know where Lebanon is. Lebanon is about 14 miles southeast, I guess you'd say, of Albany.
Yeah, safely east.
Yeah, it's safely east, yeah. Between here and Sweet Home, Oregon.
Yeah, you know where Sweet Home's at, right?
Yeah, everybody knows where Sweet Home's at.
That's right in between.
Yeah.
I've heard about Sweet Home.
Boom. Who hasn't?
Yeah, yes, we'll have. Poor Sweet Home.
I have been through there once, and
Not to be confused with Sweet Home, Alabama.
I'm headed up there today.
oh god,
Are you?
watch out!
Yeah. yeah.
Watch out!
Taking the back roads, though.
I wouldn't do that back there.
So this is sponsored in part by Adult and Teen Challenge, Celebrate Recovery, and yeah, there you go.
So they're not gonna have a barbecue like we do.
Yeah, they're going to do that. They're going to have food.
Okay.
They're going to do the same thing. But it's the first one that Lebanon's ever had.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. Recovery in the Park, River Road. Take 12 Radio, though, is not going to be there.
Oh.
We're going to be there. I've got to work shift that night, and it's just too difficult. So, sorry. We focus our attention over at Monteith River Park once a year, and we'll see how this goes. If this goes pretty good, maybe we will take the radio station over there next year. We'll just see. There you go. All right.
You're very attentive today.
Yeah, very, very attentive.
That's correct, friends. It's time for Take 12
That's right.
Recovery Radio's Stupid Is As
Oh, I
Stupid
love
Does News. La 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 la.
I can use a good laugh right now.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's enough of that. All right, two teens in Myrtle Beach have apparently never heard the phrase "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas," though.
I don't even know.
All right, that's it for this week.
Sorry.
Though in this case, Vegas is the water park. Logan Brook and Farron Marie Lane, both 18, were arrested and charged Wednesday with third-degree burglary after cops say they got their hands on Snapchat videos. Here we go again. What is wrong with you criminals out there? You don't take pictures of
my
yourself
God.
committing crimes. If you do...
Apparently they do.
Anyway, the video showed the girls trespassing in the middle of the night at the local water park. Myrtle Waves is what it's called. Staff on Monday reported a burglary that had taken place over the weekend, and when police started investigating, an unidentified woman came forward with at least two Snapchat videos
Videos even.
that allegedly showed both girls enjoying themselves in the park about 4 a.m. Saturday, per the police report. The videos clearly depict the offenders inside the water park, jumping the fence, and sitting. They stated, "We went down all the slides. We don't understand why we're in trouble. We tested them all." Teens are also accused of swiping $8 worth of Park's Italian ices. I guess they stole some of the ice thingies. The women who had Snapchat videos was able to discover their names from their accounts, and police took it from there. We tested all the rides. Why are you upset?
And what did they steal?
$8 worth of Italian sodas, ice concoction things.
$8 worth.
Yeah.
Wow.
That 8 is going to turn into a lot more here in a little
I'm
bit.
telling you.
It's going to be $300.
We broke into the gun shop. We tested all the guns.
Oh my god.
We broke into the dealership. We drove all the cars. Why are we upset?
Yes.
Stupid.
You got to do a horse one now. From our
We broke into the stable and tested and rode all the horses.
Had to bring it up.
One broke its leg. We don't know why.
We don't know why. Oh, I'm kidding.
We broke into the gnome store and stole all the gnomes and took them to... Never mind. We got a brand new gnome, by the way. Did you
I
see
saw it
Yeah.
at church.
Yeah, an Oregon duck gnome, and I'm not a duck fan or a beaver fan. Now I got to get a beaver gnome.
Yeah, that was the first thing somebody said yesterday.
I know.
And the similarities to you, Monty,
yes.
is, when you
You
mentioned
guys
that.
thought we looked alike?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, the beard is definitely you.
Bring it in. No, I'm kidding.
It's out in the gnome yard.
The land of
You know,
Nome.
those pink flamingos are starting to stand way out now, more than they ever did before.
They move around.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Okay, number 2. It's only...
Well, that was easy.
Next.
It's only July, but a crook in California may already have locked on the Dumbest Criminal 2017 award. Authorities had little trouble tracking the thief down after he stole 100 GPS trackers.
Oh, my God. Pings everywhere. Bing, bing, bing.
With other items from Santa Clara offices of tech firm Rombi, NBC4 reports. So the company's devices help producers track goods as they are shipped around the world. The moment we realized they had a box of trackers, we went into recovery mode, says company co-founder. We notified the police and equipped them to track the devices in about 5 or 6 hours. It was done. The thief, who apparently thought the devices were cell phone chargers... Well, why are you stealing cell phone chargers? I can understand cell phones, but...
Oh, my God. The GPS is funny, but cell phone chargers,
oh my
God.
He thought that he could resell them. Also managed to cut himself while taking a beer from the fridge during the burglary. Leaving DNA evidence behind on a napkin he used to soak up the blood.
Oh,
I'm going to soak up my blood and leave the evidence behind. Police say that when they arrested the suspect, they recovered Rombi's goods along with other stolen property, including an album of World War II photos stolen from a veteran's son in a break-in earlier this year.
Oh, my God.
According to the Mercury News. I don't get it. I'm going to go have a beer. Well, first I'm going to break in and steal cell phone chargers. Aren't there much better things to steal than cell phone chargers?
Yeah, Slurpees or whatever. Whatever was at the swim park.
Italian slush ices or something. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, here's one. The New Hampshire Police Department has issued a public service announcement with an old mugshot after a man was arrested with marijuana in his car. Hampstead police said in a release Monday, as a public service announcement, it is illegal to possess recreational marijuana in New Hampshire, even if you only smoke it in Massachusetts.
What?
The announcement came after the arrest of 27-year-old Selkit Taylor. What a name, Selkit. Who was pulled over for using his cell phone while driving. See, there's a reason not to use your cell phone while driving. You'll get caught for smoking pot.
In Michigan.
And yeah, police say they arrested Taylor after they saw he had a bag of marijuana and a cup holder. And the AP notes that in addition to his creative excuse, he also gave police quite the mugshot. Taylor has been charged with possession of controlled drug, transporting a controlled drug in a motor vehicle, and use of an electronic mobile device. Recreational use and possession of small amounts of marijuana were legalized in Massachusetts. So, yeah. So I guess you can buy pot, you can smoke pot, but you can't move it from the pot store to your house because that's transporting illegal drugs, because by federal law, pot's still illegal. Mm-hmm. I don't understand.
I can see Walter doing that.
Can you?
I had Walter all over it.
Get my cup holder.
I smoked it in Massachusetts.
I broke into the pot store. I tried all the pot. I don't know why I'm in trouble.
Oh, my God.
All right, we'll be back right after this.
Turn around, hit the ground, time to lay a burden down.
Lifeline Connections, providing a safe, confidential, and comfortable place for hope, help, and healing in the Pacific Northwest.
When I started receiving services at Lifeline Connections just over 6 years ago, I was so broken. I was homeless, I had a mental illness, and a substance use disorder. By being able to treat my mental illness first, I was able to gain the tools that I needed to overcome my mental illness and to treat my addiction. Lifeline Connections has given me the hope and healing that I needed to get my life back in order. Today, I am proud to say that I'm a success.
To speak with an addiction specialist, call 360-397-8246 or visit lifelineconnection.org.
What's his name?
We're dying over here.
And now it's time for everybody's favorite Take 12 game show.
Listen to Marv cough and Monty sneeze and Tony laugh and
coffee went down the wrong way.
And here's Cecil again.
Take 12 Trivia, brought to you by that wonderful recovery magazine, the 12-Step Gazette. Visit their website Dubstep.com.
Please do that.
Now take it away, the
Thank you.
Munchie Man.
Yeah, that's right. I had a sneezing fit the other day.
Oh, I hate those.
12 times. 12 times. I tried to make it a 13. Didn't work.
Oh,
12 times. Man, I couldn't believe it. All right. So, according to BuzzFeed.com, Tony, this is for you. We got some McDonald's trivia.
No!
Yes. We did that before.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
I
got some-
sucked at it.
We got some brand new ones.
I sucked.
If you get it wrong, of course, and if you get it right, we'll give you
I'm
that.
still embarrassed by when you asked me what station I didn't like, and I said radio station.
All right, these are true and false. Number one, McDonald's hamburgers don't rot easily. The burgers have very low moisture content, which basically leaves the meat dehydrated. It's more like jerky than burger. Is that true or false? What do you think, Denver?
Oh, it's true.
What do you think, Marv?
False.
False? What do you
I'm
think?
going to have to say false because I don't know.
Denver, you're correct.
I
It is
know.
true.
I've came back and seen them. They're beautiful.
Sorry, Tony. They're great to play Frisbee with. Okay, number two. McDonald's Chicken McNuggets come in 4 shapes. They all have names.
Do they really?
The boot, the ball, the bone, and the bell.
I can see that. I
Okay,
can
you
see
think
that.
it's true?
I think it's true.
You think it's true? What do you think, Marv? Think it's true?
Okay.
You think it's true? What do you think there, Denver?
I never thought of it.
The bell's probably copyright infringement, but yeah, I'll go with true.
Yeah, you guys are right. They do have names, yeah.
I never even realized that till you
The
said
boot,
it.
the ball, the bone, and the bell. Yeah, they're all shaped, and they're
Yeah.
all 4 shaped. There's no other shapes. Those are the shapes. Yeah, it's interesting stuff.
7 years later and learned something new.
That's right. I remember the boot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the most
Yeah.
infamous one.
Number 3, a 30-ounce McDonald's sweet tea has as much sugar in it as 2 Snickers bars.
True.
True? Tony says true. What do you think, Denver?
Yes.
Yep, you guys are right. That is true.
I've seen when we had to do it manually.
Right.
You should see how much sugar we have to put in there.
I'll bet.
Oh Lord.
I'll bet. However, I will tell you that the true sweet tea isn't just about tea with a lot of sugar in it.
Mm-hmm.
There's an art to making sweet tea. I don't know what it is.
Sweet.
Yeah. Somebody told me once, but I don't know. Number 4, you actually can't be more than about 115 miles from any McDonald's in the continental U.S., no matter where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Are you at least 115 miles?
150 miles?
15.
In the continental U.S. of
Yeah.
A. Yeah, you can be.
You can be further
Yeah, there
than
are
that?
lost places out there without McDonald's.
What do you think, Tony?
Ooh, now I'm conflicted. Is there a C?
No.
No? Okay.
There's no C. These are true or false.
I'll say true.
Anything, Marv?
False.
False? Well, you actually can't be more than 115 miles from McDonald's in the continental United States.
So I
Maybe
get
149,
so,
Wolfie.
On a tank of gas, I can get a cheeseburger.
Evidently.
Every 150 miles.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that's according to BuzzFeed.com. Now, look at the title of the website. BuzzFeed.
Jeez.
Must be munchies, these guys.
At least I'm doing better on this one.
At times, okay, here's and then we have one more after this. At times, McDonald's has turned away more applicants than Harvard.
Oh, I believe that. Do you know how many
yes.
people apply? Good God.
Hey, Mark. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yep.
Because there's a lot of people that apply that should not apply. Okay.
It's too easy.
All right, here's your last one. McDonald's Filet-O-Fish sandwich was originally developed for Catholic customers.
Yes.
Probably.
Probably? What do you think, Denver?
Sure.
Yes, since they generally abstain from eating meat on Fridays, that was the day of the week that they would run specials on Filet-O-Fish sandwiches, and they were originally made for Catholic customers. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I finally tried one for the first time. They're not half bad.
I want to know
The Filet-O-Fish? I like the Filet-O-Fish, yeah.
why the nugget shapes.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
We should Google that later.
Well, they're probably stamped out of a machine, and they just happen to look like those things.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know, but I do know this. That's it for Take 12 Trivia for this week. Dun, 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 dun. Everybody sing. Whee!
You don't want me to sing. Go, Marv. You're the singer.
All right. Pay attention. Pay attention.
Get this right.
So this week's topic is attentiveness. Now remember, these are character qualities because in recovery we hear a lot about character defects. So we've been trying to focus on character qualities. And attentiveness, particularly in the last 10 years or so, seems to be a lost art. People just don't pay attention to what they're doing, where they're going, what they're saying.
Or to each other.
To each other.
At all.
Yeah. It's just kind of incredible. I really, and like I was talking about the driving, at least around here. But I'll tell you where people do pay attention. Social media. They really, they scroll, they watch, they read, continually paying attention while not paying attention and bumping into things.
Exactly.
Seriously.
No, I know.
People bump into things all the time.
I bump into walls all the time. I won't lie.
But that's without looking at your smartphone. That's just walking around, right?
That too. I can fall on a dime too, so it's okay.
So as it is with all character qualities, there is an opposite quality. This one, the opposite quality is unconcern, just not caring. So here's the definition. Learning to recognize others through facial expressions, words, and tone of voice. Paying attention to body language, how people are communicating. I know a guy that when I talk to him, he'll start out a conversation. He's actually a colleague of mine. He'll start out on a conversation with me, and he'll go right to his smart device and start texting somebody. And some people can do that, and they'll hear what you're saying. He doesn't even hear me. And then he'll go, excuse me, what'd you say? He's not paying attention at all. Little twit. I just, I mean, come on, can't you put it down for just, a minute?
Well, like,
and he's not even using it. He sees me coming and it's like, time to text.
Well, James and I went over to Pop's yesterday.
Yeah.
And I look around and I was like, I wanted to see how correct what we talk about people on their phones at the
right.
Everybody was except for us.
Yeah.
We were the only ones really talking. It was like you could hear people talking, but I think they're talking to their phone.
Well, and here's...
So you were being attentive.
I was actually.
Well, and here's how easy even those of us who don't appreciate that can get caught up in it. I've caught myself, like when we went out to the park the other day, I intentionally turned off my phone.
Yeah.
Except for to take some pictures. And then when I was done, I was going to try my phone. But I found myself in lulls of conversation reaching in my pocket
for your phone.
Out of habit. And I caught myself and I thought, what am I doing that for? It's like it's a filler. But we didn't used to have those. We'd listen to the birdie sing or
too.
look at the cow walk by or the horse. Sorry, Marv. Or we would just go,
James says that all the time.
Sure, honey. Okay. Also, part of the definition is listening to your conscience and the prompting of God's Spirit to learn God's moral standards and will. So paying attention to His voice, right? Learning who to be attentive to. In other words, be careful who you listen to.
Right.
Right? Who you're paying attention to. What to listen for and who to listen to. So here's some questions. When you are spoken to by someone, do you stop what you're doing and look them in the eye and listen? What do you do there? Did you kind of mention something about this off the air, Denver?
Did I?
About not looking at the person.
Yes,
you're not being very attentive.
So when somebody talks to you, do you stop what you're doing and actually pay attention and look them in the eye?
Oh, yeah, I did mention something about that. from my past, it's not that I'm not listening to you, but I will survey this. I had somebody tell me once, you're not looking at me when I'm talking to you. I am, because for the most part, I will have that direct eye contact.
Right.
That is very important. But it doesn't mean that I'm also not surveying the situation because of my past. It's always nice to know who's around you,
right,
and what circumstance you're in.
What ninjas maybe.
You may want to move to the side now. So
that's good. I never realized that.
But
so why aren't you looking at me? I'm watching for the cartel.
Well, actually, there's a lot of power in observation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Most certainly. It's good to be aware of what's going on beside you, too. But to me, it is very important to engage, stop what you're doing, and engage the person that you're speaking with. You should give them most of your attention and dismiss them later if it's not of interest to you.
I always keep that reservation.
Yeah.
I can dismiss you later.
Yeah. But
you are dismissed. You're done talking.
Manners and everything else just dictates it. If you're put your cell phone down when you're engaged with somebody.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And the reason we talk about this stuff, we've been talking about character qualities, is because these are a lot of things that we really don't focus on in recovery circles. We just talk about the steps and not drinking and not using, pouring coffee and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But these are things that we should be developing because some of us just didn't have any of this stuff.
These are manners that we were brought up with at an earlier age. I mean, my generation anyways.
Right. Me too.
So they're fading away. This social media.
Oh, honey, they're gone.
It's horrible. Gone. I mean, it's just like you say, you went out to a restaurant and had dinner, and 90% of the people are on their cell phone during dinner. It's just...
Including the waitress.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Seriously.
I've seen they were.
Yeah.
She might be tallying her tip. I don't know. But nonetheless, it's a dying thing. Mm-hmm. I was going to say art, but it's not art. It's a manner that has just been put to the side.
So, Tony, do you ever look at your watch when someone's talking to you?
My watch?
Yeah. Oh, you don't have a watch, but
no.
do you put your phone out and look at the time?
I'm learning to now. It's actually a new developing skill I'm developing.
Not to do that? Not to look at the time?
Because for 9 years, Walter and I never really communicated.
Right.
So it drives me nuts when James sits there and looks at me. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm engaging in conversation. I'm like, okay. And then I'll just kind of put my phone down because I'm like, okay, I have to do this.
Yeah.
So I'm learning how to do it more. And
I catch myself, because I wear a watch, I catch myself, especially recently, getting ready to look at my watch when somebody's talking to me and not doing that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I mean, where am I going?
I don't know.
It's
hard to do, though. It's hard to break old habits like that.
My wife says, we'll be watching a movie. And she goes, how long is this movie? And I'm like, why? Are you going somewhere?
Marcia says that?
Yeah.
See, I'm not a movie person. I can't sit that long.
What do you mean? It's as long as it is. I mean, are you going to leave in the middle of it? Or?
Oh, Passion of the Christ. I wanted to live in the middle of it.
That's hard to watch. What about you, Marv? You ever look at your watch while somebody's talking to you?
I never wear a watch.
You never? Oh, you're not into time, dude.
No.
I called him dude.
Well, he is, because he's a cowboy.
Yeah, at least it's politically correct.
It was.
So do you ever? Okay, so this kind of speaks to what Denver was saying a little bit. Do you glance at other? I've asked Marv this one. Do you glance at other people when you're talking to somebody?
Yep.
Yeah. Is that just kind of a habit, or they just kind of catch you out of the corner of your eye, or?
I was serious when I talked about what Denver was saying about the power of observation and seeing what's going on around you and really paying attention.
Right.
And to me, that's what I'm doing. Maybe
you're engaging the whole piece, right?
Sort of, kind of,
yeah. So it's not a rude thing. It's just...
Well, it doesn't seem like it to me. Now, maybe somebody might take it that way.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be rude.
No. Yeah, I wouldn't take it that way. I'd be thinking, if I noticed you looking somewhere else and I was talking to you, I would assume you have my back.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's making sure no one's going to
Yeah.
jump me. Right? I'll give you the
Right.
benefit of the doubt.
That's it. But I do want to make a comment about what you said at the beginning about body language.
Yeah.
You know, that old adage, you can't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
Well, what dawned on me, and I don't know if this will make any sense, one of the ways you communicate with horses is body language. That's how they communicate amongst themselves. The difference is a horse does not lie. So whatever you're seeing going on is what it is. It's true in his mind. Whatever's going on and you pick up on it, that's what it is. That's not true with people.
Right.
That's a fact.
You're right. There's agendas. There's the seat.
There's also the idea of trying to project something that they're not.
Right. Because maybe they want to feel more liked or accepted or...
Right.
Yeah. So we see that in recovery circles, right? Especially with new people. They'll either manufacture stories that are just way...
I know. You're like,
I mean, I cannot tell you how many police officers I shot. You know.
Oh, boy.
There's some weird stories out there.
Or they minimize.
Yes. I used to do that.
You know.
A lot.
Oh, I've never done anything like that. I'm not that bad. So we're not either that bad or we're badder. We're worse.
Right.
Badder.
I'm only a felon. I didn't do much, you know.
Yeah.
No, that was actually a true statement.
Sorry.
I
No,
lost
that
my
was
attendance
cowboy
streak.
knowledge. That was good.
No, that is good.
Yeah.
That is really good. So, as I'm losing my attentiveness here, I had something really important to say. I probably made it up. Here's one that's interesting. Do you get directions clearly in your head? Do you understand what's being told to you when someone gives you directions to do something? You know, like, here's one. When you go to the store, honey, can you pick up some milk, some cheese, and some eggs?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's it.
Now, me, I'm like, milk, cheese, eggs, milk, cheese, eggs, milk, cheese, eggs. And I'm saying it all the way to the store, and then I come home, I forgot the milk. Now, is that just my brain not functioning well, or was I maybe not paying attention?
No, because I have a good one. This actually happened last week at work. Kylie, my manager, asked me to do one last thing, and it was part of what prep, and she goes, switch out the trays in the UHC, clean them, and put new ones in. I said, what? And it was just that simple. But I made it in my head harder than it would have. I'm like, you mean just take them out and then put new ones in, right? She goes, what is wrong with you? That's too simple. But answer the question. I need to know. She goes, yes, Tony. That's all that needed to be done.
So how many times has somebody said to you, I thought you were going to do such and such, and you go, I don't remember you telling me that. Or asking, did that happen to you?
Oh, that's my sister.
Oh, really?
She,
Can't blame
forgive
this.
me, sis, if you ever listen to this show. It's like, I thought you said, no, you wanted me to say that, is what I say.
Right.
You wanted me to say that. No, I didn't say that, but you thought yeah. No.
Throw the
See,
sister under the
now,
bus.
now we're getting into the art of communication.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You thought you wanted to hear that from me, but I did not say that.
So parents do this a lot. Being a parent, I know that I did. I think my wife did it more than I did. But the word maybe. So the child says, can I go over to Johnny's house after dinner? Well, maybe. Mm-hmm. And what they really mean is no. but their codependency won't let them say no. Yeah. And then the child says, hey, it's you told, and this is what the child heard. Yes.
Beautiful,
You're right.
Beautiful gray area there.
Now, I don't know that this is a lack of attentiveness more than manipulating the conversation on purpose. So, but Mom, you said yes. No. And then what Marcia would say was, I don't remember even answering that question. And I'm thinking, oh, I know what you said. You said no, but you camouflaged it with maybe. I don't think I did that. Yeah, you did. You know, and Colin, because Colin's the one that would pull that. He knows what she said. You know. But I sometimes we say maybe because we haven't made up our mind yet. Yeah, well, we'll talk about that later. We'll address that later.
Which would be better than maybe?
Yeah. So
we just start with no a lot, and then you can always change to no to well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
Sure. So do people around you, particularly the people that are closest to you, do they recognize that you're paying attention to them, and is that important to them? Do you think that's important to them, Denver?
Do I think it's important?
Yeah. Do they actually recognize that you do? Has anybody ever said, thank you for being attentive?
Yeah.
Thank you for paying attention.
If they're speaking to me, yeah.
Right.
I mean, you could. With what we do at Teen Challenge, you need to be attentive because students will come. There'll be 20 students come to the window during a half an hour's time, and each one of their problems is very important to them. So you have to be attentive enough to at least hear them out,
right?
And give them the maybe. I don't know yet.
Yeah,
they recognize that. I believe. And if not, they're off. They're just wanting to jabber, and they're off telling somebody else another story. They never really wanted to have your opinion, anyways.
And some people do. They just like to jabber.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get your job done, and it's like, move over.
Well, with
son.
anybody, some people just want to talk. They don't even want to hear your answer.
No,
they just want to.
Exactly right.
Yeah, they don't want to hear what you got to say. They just want to tell you.
They don't want to get any deeper than they have to.
Nope. No, but they sure do want to talk about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I think people love to talk about themselves. That's one of the key elements in what we call motivational interviewing, is allowing somebody to talk about themselves and then listen to what they're not saying as much as to what they are saying.
Ooh, that's good.
They will give it up.
Yeah.
Say that again, Tony.
Quicksand.
What?
What you just said.
I said, ooh, that's good.
Ooh,
motivational interviewing.
My ego.
No, but I say my household, we really are very attentive who's in there, me and Ryan, Dwayne, and James, is we know when it's just not needed communication, just like bypassing, but when it's needed, we really focus in on each other, so. Did I just give you a headache?
No, I was just...
Didn't it look like I gave him a headache?
I was thinking of something Pastor Kelly said yesterday. And usually when I listen to a seminar speaker or even a sermon or something like a webinar, something on YouTube, a teaching thing, there's usually, and I think this is the case with most people, there's usually a couple things that stand out more than anything else. Or things you walk away from going, wow, that really hit me. I may forget everything else, but I remember this. Mm-hmm. One of the things he said, and I'm paraphrasing now, was, don't confuse being comfortable in a situation for God giving you the okay that behavior is all right. Just because you're not experiencing tough love. Just because it's going okay doesn't mean what you're doing is okay. It's something like that, right?
I Facebooked that last night.
Did you?
It said, don't confuse God's patience for
permission.
Yeah, I read that last night.
Yeah, don't confuse God's patience for permission. There we go. See, you caught on to that more than I did, but the idea
that once he said that, I was like, oh, that's good.
So part of this is listening to your conscience and the prompting of God's Spirit to understand His moral standards and His will, paying attention to that. Because we love to let God in our lives in this area, this area, this area. Oh, not that one. Mm-hmm. Don't touch that area. I'm not ready to let go of that yet, right?
Uh-huh.
And it usually... and I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but it's usually around either relationships or material things. I don't want to give up that yet. It's like that boat that I'm paying on, or they keep paying for, and it's rotting in my driveway. And just sell the stupid thing.
Yeah.
I want to hold on to it, or that dysfunctional relationship that's just killing everybody. Yeah, but maybe there's hope. When God's clearly said, this is not working out well. And it can be a friend. I had a buddy who was a drug dealer, but he was a good friend of mine. He ended up being a drug dealer. And I had a horrible time paying attention to the fact that he was toxic in my life, because I was holding on to, hope beyond hope that he was going to change. And he never did. And he's dead today. And I'm alive. But I had to separate myself from that. So,
and that at times can be hard, especially when you're really close to him, too.
Especially when you're really close.
Yeah. Those are the hardest ones.
A lot of times you can't see it to begin with if you're really close.
No matter how much you think you're paying attention, right?
Right.
Yeah. I have something in my eye.
That's very attentive.
The scripture verse that goes with this is Hebrews 1:1. It says, "That is why we must listen all the more to the truths we have been told. If we do not, we may slip away from them." So this, I'm hearing the word listen as more than just hearing, but actually taking it to heart and paying attention to what God is saying. God doesn't want to spoil our fun, but he created us to operate the best in a certain way. Yeah. And when we kind of do our own thing and we don't pay attention and we're not attentive to what he's saying through his word, to what he's saying many times through other people in our lives. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've had several people come to me with the same suggestion, but because I wanted to do my thing, I ignored it, and then I was in deep weeds later.
Attentive would require action, according to that scripture right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of what Pastor Kelly was saying, where he said the people who listen will come back to him, or something like that?
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause that was good too.
Right. So pay attention. It's vital for our recovery. Be aware of your surroundings. And it's a maturity thing. I remember the first bit of financial credit I wanted to establish. I wasn't paying much attention. Especially when it...
To the interest rate.
Yeah. Very true. I thought, well, this will just give me some credit.
Yeah.
At 23% interest.
Yes, it will.
So here's one. I was telling my son about this because he just recently made a substantial purchase. And I was saying, so when they say, and this is part of paying attention, because marketers are very tricky. So you're watching the TV commercial for, let's say, a car, right? And no interest for 3 years. Now, you have to pay really close attention to that. What do they mean by that? Does that mean, because it can mean two things. Does that mean that 3 years of my payments aren't going to gain any interest? Or does that mean after 3 years, I have to start paying interest and I am going to pay the whole amount? And most of the time, that's what it means. You're not going to get away with not paying interest on those 12 months. You're just not going to have to pay it for 12 months.
Yeah.
It's very tricky. So when it comes to marketing and commercials and things you buy, I mean, I'm talking about material things now, but things you buy in the grocery store, I mean, you got to pay attention because they're out to get you. Because they're out to make money. So that's a whole nother realm. But he said, I didn't know that. I just assumed that meant I wasn't going to have to pay interest for a year. No. They're going to charge you interest, but they're not going to start doing it
until
for
later.
3 years
Yeah.
or for whatever. Yeah. So you talked about horses, Marv.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I've been watching this. I said last week, I've been watching this show called Heartland.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to see how accurate this is because I've been meaning to ask you this. One of the things that Amy does, the main character in Heartland, she's very highly offended when people call her a horse whisperer. She goes, I'm not a horse whisperer. I'm a trainer and that kind of thing. But she'll take a wild horse, and in the corral, she'll kind of cause it to go in circles. And she does this little snappy sound thing she does with her mouth, and she twirls this strap. She doesn't hit him with them or anything. She just twirls it. And she goes around and around and around and around. And once it kind of smooths out and she stops, the horse, she'll stop and have her back to the horse, and then the horse will follow her. And she calls that the connect. Is that an accurate depiction?
Mm-hmm.
They're paying attention, aren't they? Those horses.
Yeah. There's a little bit of stuff going on that people don't realize, though. When she's round penning that horse.
Yeah.
Part of what she's doing is she's saying, okay, you get away from me.
Uh-huh.
And when I'm ready, I'm going to allow you to come in. But the other part of the story is when that horse is ready, and this is where body language comes in. Mm-hmm. The trainer has to be able to read that horse and see when he or she, whatever it is ready to humble herself enough
to
connect with him. So there's a lot of stuff going on. People don't realize.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is cool.
That is cool.
That is cool.
Because all we see is them running around.
She also does this thing where she rubs the forehead of the horse. And everybody in the show is like, what are you doing? She goes, well, it's something my mom taught me. And it's calming. Is that a true thing, or is that Hollywood?
It is for me.
It is for wolves.
Yeah.
You know, there's some mixed messages there about stuff like that.
Right.
When I was going to training clinics and stuff like that, some of the trainers would say, no, you don't pet them on the head.
Right.
They don't like it.
Uh-huh.
And then there's a couple of places where you do pet them that mama, when they were babies, would either hang their head like over their hips or and that's what they recognize. And then there's other trainers that say, no, you can pet them on the head.
Right.
I think there has to be some caution involved because up close, horses can't see.
Oh, because their eyes are on the side more, so they can't see right in front of them?
Well, their eyesight is designed to look out.
Oh.
And this way.
Right.
But when they're right here like this, they can't see.
Oh, wow.
So there's some caution involved with trust and stuff to get to the point where you can stroke that horse's forehead and stuff, and he's not
freaking out.
Yeah. And you also never hit a horse in the head. Never.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Why would you hit a horse anyways?
There's people that do.
That's sad.
Yeah. There's
Sorry, I didn't mean
abusers. I mean, there's people that do terrible things. So I can imagine that when training somebody to be a trainer, they would have to be very attentive, or they could get themselves killed.
With
Right?
horse training, as I assume with any animal training, attention to detail is very important.
Very important.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So use a little horse sense when being attentive. Pay attention. Because the truth be known, attention to detail is very important, period. It really, really is.
Have you been kicked by a horse?
Oh, yeah.
What does it feel like?
Being kicked by a horse?
I've always wanted to know what it felt like. I don't want to know personally.
Like getting hit with a horseshoe. Boom.
It hurts.
It hurts. How quick do they, like how many miles an hour you think?
Oh, I don't know.
It's pretty powerful, though, if you're behind one and it kicks you, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a lot of power.
It's probably like childbirth.
You know. I wouldn't want to be kicked by a horse.
I've had them lay me out.
Really?
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, listen, everybody. Next week, the character quality is security. The opposite quality is anxiety. The definition, learning to build affections around the person of God and His Word. Learning to appreciate temporal possessions without making them the focus of your delight? Can you enjoy your possessions without them becoming idols? Can you be secure without doing that? And that's kind of tricky for people.
I'm not going to be here next week.
You're not?
Going to go put some idols on my motorcycle.
Ah.
I got to get some tires.
At least it's not shut in your eyes, so that's... Go do that.
So
that's
now,
Thursday.
We're all feeling very insecure.
You mean? Now I need a horse.
So security is one of those God-given instincts that is talked about in the 12 and 12 in Alcoholics Anonymous. Emotional and financial security. They talk about that. We've kind of thwarted all that when we were out drinking and using. There's three God-given instincts, basically: the security, the sexual instinct, and the social instinct. And so we're going to be talking about security next week, and so that'll be interesting. And Denver may or may not be here. We have to talk to him about this.
That was the principal.
There is a possibility I could make that work, but I have to be in Philomath at 9 o'clock, which is the other end of
the other end of the valley.
Town.
Yes. Yeah. Well, listen, the email here is take12radio@comcast.net. Don't forget, you can also listen to us on our YouTube version at youtube.com/Monty Meyer, MontyMeyer. And we're on Podomatic and all that stuff. Usually I have Tony tell you all that.
Yep.
But I wasn't paying attention. Our closing song this week is by Hillary Roberts. It's been a long time since we played this, but it is really, really good. Here's Hillary with Reach Out.
She wakes up every morning, going through the same routine, coffee and her nicotine. In her eyes there's a story, a broken home that she's been through, left alone for someone new. And she's in need of a hand that won't let go, a love that she can see. And you can be the beginning of a change. All she wants is to believe. Reach out, show her there's a lot of love to go around. Yeah, yeah. Reach out, you can make a difference here and now. Oh, oh, if you just reach out. He stands up in the mirror, going out to hit the scene, grabs his coat and takes his keys. In his heart there's a fear, he won't deny the drink again, bottles got a hold of him. He's in need of a hand that won't let go, a love that he can see. You can be the beginning of a change. All he wants is to believe. Reach out, show him there's a lot of love to go around. Yeah, yeah. Reach out, you can make a difference here and now. Oh, oh, if you just reach out. 'Cause they're in need of a hand that won't let go, a love that they can see. And we can be the beginning of a change. All they want is to believe. Reach out, show them there's a lot of love to go around. Yeah, yeah. Oh, reach out, you can make a difference
All right, my friends, that does it for another show here at Take 12 Recovery Radio. Don't forget to be attentive to life. As Matthew Broderick says in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Until our next broadcast, this is the Monty Man along with the gang, and we're wishing God's perfect serenity for you. Bye-bye now.
Good guys, bad boys, we're all the same. Saved by grace is the name of the game. Turn around, hit the ground, time to lay a burden down.
This has been a broadcast of KHLT Recovery Broadcasting.
Cause she's a super cat, she's super kitty, meow.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Meow.